In this video, we'll see one unbreakable record of each player. It's gonna be 10 players and 10 records, going from the least difficult all the way to the record that's absolutely impossible to beat. I don't think this will ever be broken in our lifetime, and you'll probably agree with me. Starting with the feet, so impressive that even though players play with their feet, it even challenges NBA records, the highest jump ever.
Now Di Maria. Oh, it's a wonderful header.
In February 2013, Ronaldo scored a stunning header against Man United, but when they measured the height he jumped, everyone was shocked. He had just reached a height of 2.93 meters, 9 feet 7 inches. Why is that so crazy? He's 1.87 meters tall, or 6 foot 2. So calculating the difference between his height and the height he reached when jumping, Ronaldo rose 106 centimeters, around 41.7 inches. For comparison, Kobe Bryant, one of the greatest basketball players of all time, had a leap record of 38 inches. Meanwhile, Stephen Curry has a leap record of 35.5 inches. Ronaldo surpassed 40 inches. But this is just the first record of the video. We're gonna see the goalkeeper who scored over 20 goals in a single season, the player who played across 5 different decades, all the way to the most unbreakable record in football. It's crazy to think that Ronaldo jumped as high as Ronaldo in FIFA Rivals. Before we get to the next record, I wanna say that FIFA Rivals is the game I'm playing right now, and I wanna thank them for sponsoring this video. FIFA Rivals is literally a game officially licensed by FIFA, and it's a game different from any other. What I loved about it is that it has a fast-paced arcade style, where instead of using a controller, you draw on the screen to control where the ball goes. I can draw the cover shot where the player should run while facing a bot or a real player 1v1. So my keeper has the ball, I'll pass here to Ronaldo, 10 seconds left, and then I'll kick. Let's go. Your team starts with a low overall, but you build it up by signing players, unlocking packs, and can own legendary players, like this 99 rated Messi. With your team you climb up the leagues, now I'm on Bronze 2, and playing live seasonal events, like the Adidas event that's happening right now. Plus you can complete challenges to earn rewards. The matches are quick, intense, and it's the perfect game to pass the time. I'll leave a link in the description so you can download FIFA Rivals for free. I think you'll really enjoy it. Now, if Ronaldo could compete in the NBA, the next player could take on the 100-meter sprint in the Olympic Games. To show you how impressive this record is, the max speed an average person reaches while running is about 23 km per hour, around 14 miles per hour. But there's a player who hit a mark of 39.2 kilometers, over 24 miles per hour, Thierry Henry. This is just one of Henry's incredible sprints. According to multiple sources, during his prime years at Arsenal, he hit a top speed of 39.2 km per hour. To give you an idea, when Bolt broke the record to win the Olympic gold, he reached a top speed of 44 km, or about 27 miles per hour, just 3 miles per hour faster. That's crazy. Henry is a legendary player, but he only scored 8 hat-tricks in his entire Premier League career. Scoring 3 goals in 90 minutes is extremely difficult, but one player broke a record, scoring 5 goals in less than 10 minutes. On September 22, 2015, Bayern Munich went to play against Wolfsburg, in what seemed like just another Bundesliga match. But Wolfsburg started with a very solid defense. They didn't let Bayern create many chances and focused on counter-attacks, even scoring a goal, while Lewandowski started on the bench, returning from an injury. But in the second half, when Guardiola brought him in, he changed everything.
To the feet of Vidal, then Thomas Muller, and it's in the back of the net from Robert Lewandowski!
In the 51st minute, Lewandowski equalized. Pay attention to the timing of this goal, because in the very next minute, he scored another one. The game was turned around. Then 3 minutes later, he received the ball, hit the post, it came back to him, and he tapped it into the back of the net. But it wasn't over yet. 2 minutes later, he blasted a shot into the goal, and 3 more minutes later, Lewandowski made this record even more impossible to break.
Lewandowski goes through it again! Oh, he just can't do it!
Lewandowski scored in the minute 51, 52, 55, 57, and 60, breaking the record for the most goals in under 10 minutes of an elite professional match. But if you think that record is unbreakable, the next one will shock you. I was shocked when I saw this. What is the record? The goalkeeper with the most goals in a single season. Before we take a look at the numbers, let us see a comparison. In the 2024-25 season, Rashford scored 11 goals for United, Rodrigo scored 14 goals for Real Madrid, and Palmer scored 18 goals for Chelsea. Those are not bad numbers, but in 2005, a goalkeeper managed to score 21 goals for his club. His name was Rogério Ceni, a keeper so good that had his team to win the 2005 Club World Cup against Liverpool. But he was also the official penalty taker for his team, São Paulo, from Brazil, where just in 2005 alone he scored 10 penalties. But in total he made 21 goals that year. So how did he score the other ones? Well, from free kicks.
Rogério partiu, bateu! Que golaço!
O goleiro Rogério Ceni, perna direita, bateu! Gol! Autorizado, Rogério Ceni por cobertura!
In 2005 alone, Ceni scored 11 free kick goals. 3 in the Professional State Championship, 3 in the Copa Libertadores, and 5 in the Brazilian Championship. To give you an idea, the year Messi scored the most free kick goals was 10 for Barcelona. Ceni scored 11. So with 21, Ceni broke the record for the most goals scored in a single season by a goalkeeper. We're talking about one record for each player, but Ceni is also the keeper with the most goals in total, 131 in his entire career. To show you the magnitude of this, Iniesta scored 107 in his career. Yeah, but there's a record from a keeper that not even Ceni could have reached, the longest goal in football history. In January 2021, the keeper Tom King from Newport County in the English 4th Division scored a goal. But unlike Ceni, he did it without even leaving his own box. It seemed like an average goal kick, until the unimaginable happened. With the ball bouncing so high and fleeing over the keeper, Tom King broke the record for the longest goal ever, 96 meters, 105 yards. This record would only be broken if someone scored from behind that line, which is literally impossible. Tom King entered the world records, but he'll probably never break the next one on the list, the keeper who went the most minutes without conceding a goal. This is one of the most underrated, yet one of the most impossible to break record. For a comparison, in the 2011-12 Bundesliga, Neuer achieved his personal record of going 770 minutes without conceding. Meanwhile, in the Premier League, the legendary Van der Sar managed to go over 1300 minutes without conceding a goal. But there's a guy who went so long without conceding that he's holding the record for 47 years now, the keeper Mazzaropi. He was a player from the Brazilian club Vasco, and between 1977 and 1978, in Real's Professional State Championship, he went 1,877 minutes without conceding a goal. If a match is 90 minutes, that's 20.8 games without conceding, or better yet, 31 hours of play. Mazzaropi was born in 1953, but what if I told you that a player older than him broke a record in 2020? This one will remain unbeaten for decades, if not forever, the oldest player ever to score. There was a man born in 1945 who loved football, but lived a normal life as a civil engineer. That is, until he decided to pursue his dream of becoming a football player. He wanted to break the record as the oldest professional player. So at the age of 74, he applied to various clubs until Egypt's 3rd division team, 6th of October, accepted him in January 2020. So in March 2020, he made his debut and his team got a penalty that entered history. As Eldon Bahadur, at 74 years and 11 months, broke the record for the oldest player ever to score in a professional match. Of course, his career only lasted for 2 games, but if this guy had a short career, the next record holder is the exact opposite, achieving the feat of playing professionally in 5 different decades. Before we take a look at the last 2 records, which are the most impossible to break, this one here is also jaw-dropping. This is the player named Kazuyoshi Miura, who was playing professionally for the Brazilian club Coritiba in 1989. In this photo, he was already 22 years old. But what if I told you that he is still active? This guy has a career so long that if Maradona had his longevity, the Argentine would still be playing in 2018. Check this out, this is a photo of him at Genoa in Italy, where he played in the 1994-95 season, already 28 at the time. Then after Genoa, he spent most of his career in his home country, even becoming Japan's 2nd top scorer. until in 2005, when he was 38 years old, his contract with Vissel Kobe ended. But instead of retiring, he signed with another club called Yokohama FC. To give an idea, that year Ronaldo turned 20. But he played for Yokohama in 2006, 2007, 2008, 2009, 2010 and so on. Until in 2017, at 50 years old, he broke what was the record for the oldest player to score. The older he got, the fewer minutes he had on the field. Until in 2021, he played 1 minute against Urawa Reds in Japan's first division, breaking the record for playing professionally in 5 different decades: 1980s, 1990s, 2000s, 2010s and 2020s. And if you think he's retired, he's now in his 42nd season as a player, playing for Atletico Suzuka in Japan's 4th division. But if Miura's record will never be broken in our lifetimes, the next one is so hard to beat that it has stood for over 67 years. The youngest player to score a hat-trick in a World Cup. At the age of 17, almost every player is still in their club's youth academies. The average debut age in Europe's top 5 leagues is 22, but Pele scored a World Cup hat-trick at 17. It was June 1958, and Brazil was facing France in the semi-final, where it went to halftime 2-1 for Brazil. Pele wasn't really involved, but then came the second half. In the 52nd minute, the ball fell to him for a simple tap-in. Moments later, it came to him again. This time, he blasted an unstoppable shot into the net. Then in the 75th minute, history was made. He received the ball and fired it into the corner, becoming the youngest player in history to score a hat-trick in a World Cup. 17 years and 8 months. But none of the records we've seen so far come close to the most impossible one. So difficult to repeat that not even the man who broke the record came close to that feat again. The most goals scored in a single year by a player. For context, in the 2012-13 season, Ferguson's Man United won the Premier League title, scoring 86 goals in total. That's a lot, but at the time it didn't seem like much, cause in the year 2012, a single player scored more goals than that. Lionel Messi.
Messi on the inside, it's Messi! It's the goal!
As a comparison, Haaland at his peak for Man City in the 2022-23 season scored 52 goals and 38 more in the following one. That's a lot, 90 goals across 2 seasons. But Messi, between January and December 2012, playing at the top level, netted 91 goals in a single year. That was 79 for Barcelona and 12 goals for Argentina, averaging 1.31 goals per game. It was so out of this world that the most goals Messi scored in a year after that was 59 in 2016. That's 32 goals less. Just to give you an idea, in the 2024-25 Premier League, Man United averaged 1.15 goals per game. In other words, in 2012, Messi alone had a higher goal average than all Man United players combined in the Premier League. It took 4 decades for Gerd Müller's record of 85 goals in 1972 to be broken, and now Messi's record will surely never be beaten. So what did you think of this video? If you enjoyed it, I think you're gonna like this one too. Thanks for watching and bye!